Our guest this week is South Otago dairy farmer Stephen Crawford, who runs a milking operation with his wife Annabelle at Clydevale near Balclutha. Cosmo Kentish Barnes is with Stephen on the family farm.
We're organic A2 polled dairy farmers, and we're standing at our wintering shed set up and the silage pits, and there's a few cows in, not all of them yet. As soon as the weather packs up, we'll put the rest in, and they're fed 100% pasture silage throughout the winter and until they calve. And when they calve, they come out of the sheds.
And you've got a big dairy farm here. How many hectares does it cover?
In total, it's about 730 hectares. There's about 50 hectares of trees, all Douglas fir, and they're various ages. And we've got plans to plant about another 20 hectares, and then that'll be all the tree planting, all the gullies will be filled with trees then. And there's probably about 650 hectares effective.
How many cows do you run?
We're wintering about 840 this year.
And many years ago, your parents were farming sheep on this land.
Yeah, so when I grew up on this farm, when I was at primary school, this was a sheep farm. It was a bit smaller in those days. I think the farm was 160 hectares, so a bit of a change. Most of our district, or all of our district, was sheep in those days, and to be fair, most of it now is dairy.
So when and why did you switch to organic farming?
7 seasons ago, we were in conversion for 2 years, and we've been fully organic for 5 full seasons now. And it really appealed to us. We've always been a low input dairy farming system, so the shift to organics wasn't a massive mindset shift. There was a lot of extra compliance, a lot of rules we had to comply with. But it was kind of, at the time and even now, it just seemed like a bit of a no-brainer really, the way that things are going. We need to try to lessen footprint on land and that sort of thing, and organics really ticks all those boxes.
What did your neighbouring farmers think when you decided to change the farming system?
Oh, they were pretty intrigued actually. We used to have a lot of questions initially, but I haven't had any questions about it for years now. People just accept it. I guess in farming, that's the beauty with it. People can farm how they want to farm, and most people just accept it, and they do something differently themselves anyway. So, yeah, no, I'm pretty accepted in this district anyway.
What were the biggest challenges you faced in those first couple of years during the conversion?
I guess probably initially it was getting our head around all the rules and developing the systems to maintain all the rules that go around being organic. It took a bit of getting used to, like if you have an adverse weather event like a drought, like we've had a few in a row now, you can't buy in feed. It's got to be organic feed that you're feeding. So you've got to plan for the worst case scenario all the time, which means you've got to have a bit of a buffer up your sleeve the whole time, which initially took a while to get to the mindset of, but we're there now. So we've had a few droughts in a row now, and we still seem to plug along okay. But we can't, for example, we can't call in a palm kernel truck to fill a gap. It's just not possible. So we've just got to be fully self-contained and do everything ourselves.
Now let's walk over to the wintering sheds and have a look at them, because they've made a huge difference to your farming in the colder months.
Yeah, so we don't plant any winter feed crop, any kale or Swedes or fodder beet or anything like that. Makes a huge difference to the cows, the sheds. It's 5 degrees warmer inside the sheds. There's no sides on them, but just a roof. And they eat less because they don't have to spend energy making heat to stay warm. So they're pretty happy in here. They get fed twice a day. We feed about 9 to 10 kilos of grass silage every day.
And the roof is clear?
Yeah, we've got 2 wintering sheds which have got clear plastic roofs. And we've got another shed which is a tin roof. So yeah, the tin roof sheds, that's about 150 metres long, and the clear light roofs, there's 2 sheds there 100 metres long each.
Yes, quite an expense, but a good investment.
Totally, yeah, wouldn't want to do it now. The other thing too is it's not just the wintering sheds, it's also the silage pits. They're quite expensive, they're big concrete bunkers. As you can imagine, we need a lot for that many cows for a number of months, so yeah.
And the cows are sitting on a wood chip base, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, composting barns. With organics, there's a minimum of so many square metres per cow, and on the side of each shed there is a 4-metre strip of concrete, and the cows walk out onto that, and then they put their head through a head bale and eat the silage that the silage wagon feeds out, and they do most of their pooing on that strip of concrete. So they keep the sheds pretty clean, and I don't know if I'd be wanting to farm dairy cows without the setup we've got for the winter, especially in our climate. I think it makes life pretty easy and pretty good for the cows.
You must make heaps of compost for the farm from these wintering sheds.
We do. We have a team of muck spreaders come in late spring, and they're here for a week, spreading it everywhere.
What type of cows are these?
Predominantly Friesian. We do have a few Jerseys as well, and we've used a lot of Norwegian red semen last mating, so we're having a dabble into that.
And milk production wise, how has your season been? Are these cows producing a lot of milk?
Yeah, they've done pretty well. This season's been pretty tough. We had a drought which started in January, so these guys have had a lot of supplement in their diet from January onwards. We started feeding them baleage, and then they were getting an awful lot of pasture silage as well through the milking season, which has definitely hampered their production. But that's just farming. It's droughts are part of it.
Now you get a premium for your organic A2 milk, and it goes to open country. What sort of premium do you get?
So we get paid farm gate milk price like everybody else, and we get an extra $2 for the organic and 20 cents for the A2. So farm gate milk price plus $2.20, and that's per kilogram of milk solids. So it certainly makes it very worthwhile.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now Open Country has decided to end the organic A2 bonus payments.
Yeah, so we were told that in late last year. So with Open Country we had a 2-year conversion contract and then a 10-year organic supply contract, and that's being cut short by 2 years, so it'll end up being 2 plus 8. We're pretty philosophical about it really. We'll just see what doors open next. Yeah.
So what does that mean for your farming operation? I mean, will there be another dairy processor who will take your organic A2 milk?
Well, it's being looked at the moment. There might be 1 or 2 possibilities. We'll just have to wait and see. We really don't know as yet. I mean, a lot will depend on what happens with around the world too. If the world suddenly picks up a bit, then that could change the game a bit as well. So, it's pretty challenging times out there, and I guess that's had a bearing on that decision to finish the contract in 3 years' time. But we've still got 3 seasons to go, and we're just focusing on that really. And if we have to convert back to conventional, well, it's not really a big change. It's just we just won't be organic anymore, and we'll just carry on farming like we do. We'll still carry on with the low input farming system.
That seems a bit crazy though, after all the work you've put into developing this successful large-scale organic dairy farm.
Yeah. I guess the thing with organics is it's not something you just decide, next week I might be organic. It's got a big lead into it. So it is a bit of a shame, but nothing stays the same forever, does it?
Organic dairy farmer Stephen Crawford talking there to Cosmo Kentish Barnes.